So, good morning, everyone. Hope you're doing well. So, before we start, we should start with a prayer. So, I'll pause a bit. So, conduct your personal prayer, our Rosarian Lasallian prayer. Okay, again, good morning. Hope you're doing well. Hi. Hello. Mukhang hindi pa kayo handa ah. Hello. Hi. Okay, so I think mukhang masigla na, okay na? So by the way, my name is Teddy A. Almuestro. You can call me Sir Teddy or Sir Ted. Okay? But please don't call me Bear. It's a big no-no. Okay? So hindi siya maganda at hindi bagay. Okay, so I live in the Philippines, obviously. So saan sa Pilipinas? Somewhere there. And I think you guessed it right. I live in Cavite. More specifically, Tanza, Cavite. So, saan ako nakatira? Sa Tanza, Cavite. So, pakihanap na lang po dyan. Makikita naman dyan yung bahay namin. Okay, so, I graduated my high school, high school days in Amaya School of Home Industries. Shout out po sa mga ka-alma mater ko dyan. Okay, so, also, my undergraduate in Cavite State University, Rosario Campus. So I graduated last 2014 and my course is Bachelor of Science in Computer Engineering. So technically, I'm not a teacher, but I took up teacher certification program at Cavite State University, NAIC campus. And also, I passed my licensure examination last March 2019. So, licensed teacher po ako. So, you're in a good hand. Okay. So, let's continue. So, I'm married to this wonderful woman. No, not that one. This one. So, she's also a teacher at ANSA National Comprehensive High School. Isa po siyang English teacher. So if you're from Tanza National High School and you see someone who talk English purely during her class, so siya po yun. Okay, so let's go to my subject. My subject is Media and Information Literacy. Now, what is your expectation to my subject? Maybe you think your expectation, sabihin nyo sa akin, we'll talk about technology. Yes, you're right. But what about technology? What are the things that we're going to talk about technology? So, isa yon sa mga sasagutin natin. Or maybe you will say, sir, tuturuan niyo po kaming mag-handles ng mga program like C++, if you're familiar with, Visual Basics, so something like that. Not quite in MIL. Hindi natin siya masyadong pag-uusapan. But actually, class, MIL is a very important subject. So we'll understand why. So let's go para mas lalo natin siyang ma-dig in. So let's continue our discussion. So we'll talk about basically internet. So what about internet? Ano pag-uusapan natin sa internet? So if you do not know, there are so many kinds of internet and it was evolving. Also, why do internet have been invented? Bakit ginawa yung internet na yan? What are the impact of internet in our society? Those are the things that we're going to tackle during my subject this whole sem. Pag-uusapan natin siya. So another thing is social medias. What are the impact of social medias in our life? Do using social media is a good thing or a bad thing? So maybe some of you, not only limited in social media, in games, mobile games, internet games, online games, you know what I'm talking? Medias. Pag-uusapan natin siya, television, radio, what are the impact of those media in our life? But not in our life as per se, but in the whole society. Pag-uusapan natin siya, what are the impact of this social media? If you're aware of, previously nauso yung tinatawag nating invisible challenge kay TikTok. So, obviously, it's a bad thing. Pero bakit? Bakit ginagawa pa rin siya ng ibang tao even though they know it's a bad thing, right? Facebook, it is okay to post OOTD, it is okay to post what is OOTD by the way? Outfit of the day. Medyo luma na siya pero nauso siya dati. It is okay to post OOTD in your social media. Or maybe ATM. What is hashtag ATM? At the moment. So it is okay to post at the moment doon sa tinatawag nating social media. So I don't know. And we will answer that during our discussion. Maybe I'll give you some teaser. So why do we post, you know, OOTD? Why? Because it has impact on our behavior. Nowadays, um, parang kinokontrol no. Some of us have being controlled by this technology or by this social media. In what way? I'll give you one classic example. Anak, bumili ka nga muna ng suka dyan sa tindahan at nagluluto ako. Nay, wait lang, mananalo na po kami sa ML, right? Mananalo na po kami sa laban. Nay, wait lang, nanonood po ako ng YouTube. Nay, wait lang. See? That's the classic example. So again, I'll go back to my question. Why do some people post OOTD? Maybe to gain some likes? Then bakit nila gustong mag-gain ng likes? So those are the things na pag-uusapan natin dito sa tinatawag nating social media or sa in my subject which is MI. Pag-uusapan natin siya at hihimay-himayin kong mabuti ang usapang ito because class, social media is a good thing, yet it carries some dangers. It is carry. So ang tawag ko nga dyan ay war zone. Are you ready to cope up in those war zone? Actually, ginagamit nyo na siya. So are you equipped enough para gamitin yung tinatawag na war zone? Ang dami niyan. Social media, Facebook, TikTok specifically, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube. Are you ready to handle those social medias? Are you equipped enough with the knowledge that you should know for you to handle those things? Also, we will talk about the differences between media and how it will impact on a certain individual. So actually we have digital media and traditional media because nung mga una-una, right? Wala naman talaga tayong tinatawag na internet. Walang ganon. But how does our society looks like nung mga panahong yon? See? So, I'm just giving example, pero maybe, I think, kung ako ay nasa synchronous or live discussion or kung tayo ay nasa isang classroom setup, maybe magtatawag ako sa inyo kung sino o kung ano yung naging impact o sino ba yung mga batang 90s na inabot yung paglalaro sa kalye. Okay, so let's continue. What are the impact of this social medias or internet or MIL in business sectors? Malaki ba? May naging epekto ba? So in a good side, Shopee, Lazada, what else? Facebook Market. But can we create a fabricated law of supply and demand using social media? What do I mean by fabricated law of supply and demand using social media? Have you ever experienced na biglang nag-spike yung presyo ng isang object? More specifically, lately, nagbabasa ako ng news. Then I encountered this news na yung Hengde face shield. So halos nag-triple, halos nag-quadruple or nag-double yung kanyang price. How's that? Is that really natural? Or the price are being fabricated by fabricating of law of supply and demand? Meron ba talagang nagkabentahan ng 5K, 500K na Heng the face shield? Or meron ba talagang, yung nakita nyo sa social media na 1M Heng the face shield, legit buyer, kailangan ng ganito, ganyan, etc. So, does social media or internet are being used in such things? Interesting, right? So we'll talk about that in our further discussion. So also, I will talk about in my subject regarding to your health. Ano yung nararamdaman mo? I mean, what are the impact of changing of media? I mean, changing of these technologies in our own health, in our body. Meron ba siyang impact sa atin? So those are the things that we're going to tackle here in MIL. So also, memes. What are the impacts of memes in each every one of us? So ano yung epekto ng tinatawag nating memes? Okay? So, does this meme, I mean, ito bang meme na ito ay nagagamit in some other ways? More specifically, mas lumago yung meme nung kay attorney Larry Gadon. I believe you saw that meme na wag kayong, alam niyo na, so I can say it. But those are the things. Also, in commercial, so I believe kilala niyo itong taong ito. So, okay, so let's talk about this person. How come a certain, a certain candidate for senator who did not any promise at all, wala siyang ibinigay na promise, and yet he become a senator. At ang nakakatuwa, yung kanyang commercial ads, right? Before. So, we're going to understand that paano nakahikayat itong napakagandang commercial na ito sa bawat Pilipino. So, if you have any question, maybe I'll discuss it later. So, furthermore, let's talk about music. So, may impact ba yung music? So, again, meron bang impact itong music or meron bang epekto itong music to each and every one of us? Ito bang music ay kayang mag-trigger ng stimuli or kayang mag-trigger ng damdamin para may gawin ang isang tao? So actually, merong isang music before, I don't know, it's come from 17th century or 16th century or 15th century, which led na nagpakamatay ang 50 people, but I won't give you a link, baka kung ano pang mangyari. So it was written on the history na yung music na yon ay nag-led para magpakabatay ang maraming tao. So those are the impact of ng tinatawag nating social media or ng music. Okay? So let's continue. So let's talk about your grading system. First of all, you have to understand kung saan, what do you call that? Kung core subject ba yung aking ituturong subject or contextualized subject or specialized subject, but my subject belongs to core subject. Is that really important to know kung ano yung subject na itinuturo ng isang teacher? Yes, because your grading system have been graded into 3 categories, and those are written works, performance tests, and quarterly assessment. What are the written works? Written works are, dito sa OLARS, ang tawag nyo ay summative assessment or should I say quizzes. Kasama siya sa written works. So written works are in core subject is 25%. So pag performance tasks, what are the performance tasks? Performance tasks is the tasks that are being performed. Halimbawa, pinasayaw kayo ng teacher, pinakain kayo ng bubog, ng buhay na manok, something like that. I'm just kidding. So you know what I'm saying? Debate. So it belongs to performance tasks. Then lastly, quarterly assessment. What are this? What are quarterly assessment? These are periodical exam. Sa ibang school yan ang tawag. So para maliwanag. So MIL or Media Information Literacy belongs to core subject, which is written works fall to 25%, performance test is 50%, and quarterly assessment falls to 50%. So basically, sipag-sipagan po ang pagpapasa sa akin ng performance task. Papaano ko po gagawin yung performance task? Normally, I'll do this in some outputs and maybe some in our synchronous classes. So be sure to attend my synchronous classes. So baka kasi magbigay ako ng performance task. And remember, performance task is 50%. So medyo malaki-laki siya. So if I were you, I would attend. My synchronous class always, lagi siyang panghuling subject. Nakita ko yung schedule ko, 4:50 to 5:50. Okay? So let's continue. So let's talk about written works. Ano ba yung nakapasok doon sa tinatawag nating written works? And maybe i-discuss din to ng inyong mga advisors. So we have long assessment or LA. Ano bang tong long assessment na to? Ang tawag sa ibang school, long exams. Ito lang yan. Okay? Summative assessment or ito nga yung mga quizzes. Worksheet na ibinibigay ko ito, sa class ko. Maybe pagka hindi ko kayang ipasok siya kay Schoology or i-program siya kay Schoology ng maayos, maybe pasusulatin ko kayo in different papers, then took a photo, upload the photo in Schoology so I can check it. So, ganun lang siya kasimple. So, exercises, same thing katulad nung worksheet, baka ganun lang din yung gawin natin. So, let's talk about performance tasks. What are the performance tasks? Katulad nga sinabi ko nakaraan, we have debate, etc., etc. So, projects belong to performance tasks. Okay? Attendance. So maybe your advisor will discuss how will you be absent in our classes, because basically, alam niyo naman na hindi tayo magmi-meet for the whole school years. So I mean, hindi tayo magmi-meet physically for the whole school years. So we're just talking here in the internet. Kahit anong mangyari, right? Kahit sabihin ng IATF na, uy, pwede na kayong magklase, meron na tayong bakuna, etc. Right? Hindi tayo magmi-meet because this is the design of the Our Lady of the Holy Rosary schools, just to be sure that you're safe. Okay, so tiis-tiis muna tayo, mga best. So demonstration, maybe I'll do some reportings pag ako'y sinipag-sipag, so magre-report kayo. And syempre, quizzes coming from me or summative assessment will come from me. Sa akin manggagaling yun. Okay? So quarterly assessment, this is just a periodical exam. Ito na yon. So medyo good luck sa inyo sa bagay na yan. And take note, that is 25% on my subject. So if you perfect, let's say written works, pagpasa ka lahat, perfect lahat, 25%. So meron ka na. So performance task, mataas, 50%. Let's say na perfect mo rin siya. So meron ka ng 75% rate of passing. So pag bumagsak sa quarterly assessment, mawawala agad yung 25% mo. So I'm expecting na lahat kayo ay mag-aaral during our quarterly assessment. Okay? So now, class rule, virtual edition. Siyempre, kailangan nating maglagay ng class rules. Okay? Okay, so first of all, in my rule is respect. Please be respectful. Even though hindi tayo nagkikita-kita physically, I want to create a clear borderline between us, me as your teacher, and you as your student. But don't get me wrong ha, class. Ayoko namang mag-distance kayo sa akin ng napakalayo. I want to be, somewhat around your companion. But do not forget to create a clear line that I'm your teacher. Hindi pwede yung babatok-batukan or something like that. Hindi pwede yung matotropa-tropahin nyo. No. Not that kind of relationship. But be respectful. Also, if I'm talking during our class, please be mindful na paki-mute po yung mic. So maybe I'll ask you na i-on siya kapag tinatanong ko kayo. Why? Because baka po yung background noise ay masyadong maingay. So, you may distract me. Okay? This one. Respect. Okay? Next. Please pass your, be on time. Normally, I'll say on my class, sa physical classroom na, be on time on my class. Don't be late. Kasi malaki yung bawala sa inyo. Also, in this class, so be on time. Pag tayo po ay may klase ng 4:50, please be on time. Pasok po kayo sa virtual classroom natin ng 4:50 at magsisimula na po ako noon. Okay? So maybe I'll look for consideration. Pag masyadong kakaunti, maybe 10 minutes. Kasi class, we only have 1 hour. At medyo maliit yung oras na yun for me to discuss all of the lessons that I want to impart in each every one of you. Sayang ang oras. It's also applicable sa inyong mga written works or performance tasks. Please pass your grade, your projects or your requirements on time. Because I always include in rubrics or in grading system yung pagpapasa ng on time. So pag late kayo, minus ng minus yon in your grade. Okay? So hopefully we're clear on that. Okay. Basically, class, during my physical classroom, I'll say to my student, if you want to say something, just raise your hand. Okay. So how about in virtual classroom? It's okay. In our virtual classroom, ganito po siya kasimple. So always open your comment section. If you have any question, just ask on comment section. Okay? Para lang vlogger. O shout out sa'yo, ganito. Ang question niya, and I'm just kidding. So babasahin ko yung question. Doon na lang po kayo mag-type. Huwag niyo pong i-unmute yung inyong mic. Unless I call your name and tell you to unmute your mic to answer my question. But very rare lang naman siya or konting pagkakataon lang naman because, kailangan kong pabilisin ng konti yung pacing ng lesson natin. Okay? Next. So, pakilinis po ang inyong workspace or inyong study space. please mind your background. Put something on your background. Okay? Maybe lagyan nyo lang siya ng tela, plain, green or white. Lagyan siya ng telang, plain. Para hindi naman makita. And please, paki-on po yung camera at all times. I want to see your faces. Gusto ko kayong makita. Gusto ko kayong makilala isa-isa. At saka hindi ko alam kung may natutulog na o wala. Also, please naman, pag-a-attend po ng klase ko, kayo lang po. Huwag niyo po isama si nanay, si tatay, si lolo, si kuya, si ate, ay si lola. Baka po ma-distract ako pag nakita ko sila sa background. So something like that. Okay? Question? Wala. Siyempre, ako lang mag-isa rito. So anyway, pag may question kayo, pwede naman kayo magtanong sa consultation period. So may consultation, I believe, ibinigay na yata sa inyo yung consultation period ninyo. So paano po yung mechanism ng consultation period? Meron tayong consultation period at the Saturday portion. Okay? So please follow your schedule respectfully. Also, merong consultation period 5:50 to 6:50 if I'm not mistaken. So sino lang yung magko-consult sa ganung oras? It depends. For example, Monday, ang klase ko lang ay Alberto and Barbara. So in my 5:50 to 6:50 consultation period, sino lang ang may karapatang magtanong sa akin? Alberto and Barbara. I will not entertain different section or that I do not have class on that day. So yun lang po yung entertain ko. Okay, so kapag nagtanong po, siguraduhin na. And I'll give you later my contact information so you can call me or text me. Maybe ayusin natin yung bagay na yon. Or you can contact me here in Schoology. Okay? So paano po pag emergency? Just email me in Schoology or text me kung talagang importante or call me kung talagang hindi na talaga aabot or super important na, importanter. So para ma-i-address natin. Okay? So next is please, you know what I'm saying here? As much as possible, wag po kayo magsi-CR during my class. Because, malaki po yung mawawala sa inyo. So before my class, CR na po tayo. Or use comfort room. Pag talagang hindi kaya, magpaalam lang po dun sa comment section para alam ko po na nawala kayo. But, do not turn off your cameras. Okay? O baka, wag naman, no? Na doon na kayo mag-CR sa may camera. Wag po. Punta po kayo CR, please. Nagamit pa kayo Arinola. Okay, so, this is the most important part. Using gadget during my class. Why do I mean by this? Wag po kayo mag-cellphone during my class. You know what I'm saying? Kung kausap ko po kayo during my class, kapag nagagalit po ako sa klase ko na may nagse-cellphone or hindi nakikinig sa akin, please, wag po kayo mag-cellphone during my class. Talagang, I'll give you proper reprimand for that. Unless, I'll give you instruction na, punta kayo sa ganito, gamitin yung cellphone. Please, be mindful, class. Pinaghirapan po namin yung pag-prepare ng lesson para sa araw na iyon. And huwag niyo pong sayangin. Hindi ko kayo sinusumbatan. I'm just saying. So, please be mindful using other gadgets. Baka hindi na nakikinig. Okay? So, also, I wanted to add, be honest. Please, be honest during my class o sa buong school year na ito because, hindi namin kayo mababantayan during your exam, hindi namin kayo mababantayan during your activity. So, ang learning naman kasi class is different. Hindi ibig sabihin na mababa yung nakuha mo sa exam is wala kang natutunan. That's not learning. Okay? Hindi ibig sabihin na hindi ka matalino kapag hindi mataas ang nakukuha mo sa exam. Okay? So, kapag natutunan mo, nagkamali ka at natutunan mo kung ano yung tama at in-apply mo yon, that is learning. You're already learning. Nagbabago ka na, natututo ka na. So that is learning. Ang importante dito ay matuto kayo. Grade is just a number. Grade is just a representation na kunyari matalino ka kuno, I don't know. Maybe this is just my own principle. But learning is very deep. It cannot be measured sa mga ginagamit nating measurement right now katulad ng exam. Okay? So let's review our class rules. So virtual edition, of course, be respectful, be on time. So if you want to say something, raise your hand. So always clean your workspace. If you want to go to comfort room, just say it to me first. And please be mindful of using your gadgets. So you can call me to this number. This is my personal number, so please wag niyo pong ipamigay kung kani-kanino. Ginagamit ko po talaga siya. Okay? So also you can email me through Rexcology. By the way, please do not spam me. Huwag niyo po akong i-spam or tatadtadan niyo ako ng message. I can guarantee you, I can do more than that. Remember, I'm a graduate of Bachelor of Science in Computer Engineering. I can trace you. Okay? Hindi ako nagbabanta ah. Okay, so by the way, thank you for your listening. And, before I forgot, may nakakalimutan ako. This is me. Ito yung totoong itsura ko. So, pakitandaan lang po. Baka makasalubong nyo ako sa kalye, pakibati na rin po. So again, thank you for your listening and see you on my another class. Thank you and goodbye.